Hey gang, this is Mike with MrNoFluff.com, and I'm excited to share with you that in 2019, I'm going to be buying safe haven assets using a strategy called subject to investing, where I don't have to go to a bank, I don't have to go to a lender to get a mortgage. No, nor do I have to use hard money or my credit. Now, what is subject to investing? Is a strategy where I use to find motivated sellers, and I just go step into their shoes and I just take over their payments if they have a mortgage. And if they don't have a mortgage, then I allow the seller to be my lender. So I allow the seller to be the bank for me. Okay. Now, some of you guys will be asking, why would a seller ever want to sell their home this way? And that's a really good question because I used to have the same exact question myself when I started. Well, I only deal with what's called motivated sellers. There's only a pool of customers that I focus on. I don't focus on anyone else. So I know my audience, and my audience is what's called motivated sellers. Now, there are motivated sellers no matter if the market is up, if the market is sideways, or if the market is down. Okay. However, in this upcoming massive crash that we're going to be having, there's going to be a lot more motivated sellers than ever before. Because no matter what the cycle is, there's usually a pool of motivated sellers because they're going through divorces, they inherited houses, they lost their jobs, etc. These pockets are always going to be there. That's the reason why there is a pawn shop. Okay, that's the reason why um, investors like myself are able to buy houses at 50 cents, 60 cents on a dollar, or get seller financing where I don't have to use my credit, where I don't have to use a bank. The seller will allow me to just take over their payments if they have a mortgage. And if they don't have a mortgage, then they allow me to create a new note through seller financing. And usually I pay 0% interest rate, non-recourse loan, etc. And what is a non-recourse loan? That's a good question. See, a powerful way of buying real estate is not to put your neck on the noose. What do I mean by that? Whenever you buy property through a traditional real estate agent and then you go get a loan from a bank, they make you sign a promissory note that says, look, dude, if you default, not only are we going to come take the house, the collateral, but we're also going to come after you personally through your social security and hit you up there. Okay. And many other things. Well, the way I work is I work with homeowners direct. And when I help them in their situations, I create what's called a non-recourse note, which allows me to, when I take over their home payment, but tells the seller, look, if I default, which means if I don't make the payments for whatever reason, I'm only going to give you the collateral, the property, but you cannot come after me direct. Okay. And if they don't agree with that, then I don't do the deal. Okay. Simple as that. Now, that's a very powerful strategy that I implement for myself. This is not legal advice for you or anything like that. This is just what I'm doing. Okay. So it makes a lot of sense for me to start now marketing in 2019 to find these motivated sellers because the bubble is already popped and they haven't came on the news 100% and tell everyone, but it's happening slowly but slowly. If you listen to the NBC or Times news, they're kind of reporting on it but saying, hey, the slowdown in new home sales, price changes are happening, days on the market are being this slowly, but eventually these guys and girls will come on TV and the newspapers and say, "Oh, it's bad, it's bad, it's bad." They're not there yet. They're just like letting you know it's about to be there. Once that happens, there's going to be a flood of people that are going to be motivated that normally would not be motivated. So again, normally these sellers are intelligence. I mean, they're going to be like doctors, attorneys, city workers, teachers, like the last crash, 2006, fourth quarter. I know everyone says 2008, but if you were ahead of times like I was, you really know it happened in the sixth quarter, 2006. So in the last crash, I bought houses from firefighters, teachers, everyday workers. And what's going to happen in this crash, in my opinion, is that we have so many asset bubbles. We have stocks in a bubble. We have debt at all-time high, from the federal to the state to the corporations to the people. Okay, and we have tariffs. We have so many different things going on right now, which is going to allow more people to become motivated, because when it pops, they're going to lose their home equity. Many people have revolving credits from like home equity loans or credit cards. Those are going to get shrunk thin, just like the last crash. If people I knew that had $100,000 in their revolving credit, now it shrunk to zero or 10 grand or whatever to the debt balance was. So instantly they felt poor. Really, they were poor, but they thought they were rich because their slave master, which is the lenders, loosened up the chain on them. So that's why I teach at Mr. No Fluff that you're more powerful than a bank, because you can use creativity and imagination and outmaneuver the banks instead of just getting slave to them. And this is an example that how I'm doing it, where in this next crash, there's going to be a wave of people coming through, and they're going to be motivated because they're going to lose equity in their stocks. They're going to lose equity in their homes. The corporations they thought they were safe, they're going to go under, or they're going to downsize and fire people, like we're already starting to see happen with Verizon, with Tesla, and the list goes on and on, ladies and gentlemen. I don't have time to sit here and list all these businesses, but Google it for yourself, okay? And more people are going to lose their jobs, which means they can't pay their mortgages. You could just see that at any time the government can shut down like this, and 800,000 people will not get paid. And so many of them didn't have enough money to pay the next month bill because they live paycheck to paycheck. Now, think about this. If the government is going to just stop their own workers' paycheck instantly, how do you think the crash is going to be? Do you think it's going to be a slow motion? No, dude, it's going to be so quick. You're going to wake up and boom, the bank spelled in, probably your banking account, your savings. What you thought your house was worth X, now it's way less. You thought your stocks 401s were this much, now it's way less. And it's going to be quick. It's not going to be a very slow process, which is going to create that herd effect, right? People are not going to have time to think because it's going to be so quick. Everywhere they go, they're going to talk about how bad it is, right? And people are going to want to sell their homes. And at this time, they're not going to be able to sell their homes because every other home is in default, or other home sellers are trying to sell it because their job relocated them, or they can't afford this house. They got to downsize. There's so many different possibilities what makes them motivated. Okay. But it's not my job to think about all the possibilities why they're motivated. My job is to go out there and market and find these motivated sellers and then cherry pick the best deals for me. That's what my job is. Some people that don't understand this idea, they're going to spend all their brain power, all their brain resources trying to think about why would someone do this. Trust me, I was there when I first started in 2006. I didn't know anything about buying houses. I had a successful moving company, but I didn't know anything about buying houses. I didn't even own a home. I lived in a nice loft. I was paying thousands of dollars for one bedroom because I thought that was the cool way. I didn't want to own. But then when the crash came, I knew this was the opportunity, right? Back in the last crash, I didn't know anything. So I was kind of like many of you guys. I was like, is this going to work? Right? But the difference is I didn't put a whole lot of brain power in thinking why it's not going to work. I said, you know what? Let me go try it because this is the greatest opportunity ever. I'm not going to get this too many in my lifetime. So I went and tried it until I found my very first motivated seller, right? Which happened to be a city worker for Grand Prairie. You know, the Parks and Recreation city worker, right? Like that. Okay. And they were behind because they were going to divorce. Guess what? I saved their home. Okay. And his family, I saved their home. I saved their credit. 5, 6 years later, that guy was able to buy another home. He messaged me and says, look, man, I'm trying to get a loan, but it's not going through. Can you show proof that I don't own this loan anymore? And I showed his mortgage broker the proof, and he was able to get a home. If I hadn't stepped in and saved this property, he wouldn't have been able to buy another property down the line, right? And guess what? I was a hero. And guess what? It helped me too, because that property brought me a lot of monthly cash flow. End of the day, I sold it and I made a chunk of money. Okay. So together, I just put $2,000 or $3,000 in to get the property, and it gave me massive cash flow. End of it, 80 something. I can't remember right now. It's been a while. 3 years ago when I sold it. Okay. Now, I sold stuff in 2006. I mean, I'm sorry, 2016. I came publicly and said, look, man, 2016, I'm not buying any more real estate. Again, listen to what I just said. I came publicly, dude. I'm a guy that had my car wrapped. Okay, I had a brokerage firm. I'm all in into real estate investing. And I said, you know what, man, the bubble's too much. I don't know when it's gonna pop. I was like, you know what? I don't have a forecast. I'm not a psychic, but I knew all the symptoms by looking on the show. So you know what, man, I'm out. So I sold just a couple of my properties, the rest, and with everything else, I just give it to the homeless people because I let go of all my stuff. Okay, I'm back here starting all over, but I'm excited because there's great opportunities. I can do that, and I'm about to get into it. And if you have any properties, doesn't matter what state you're in. If you know a motivated seller, you don't know how to structure it, you don't know what to do, message me, submit those deals to me, okay, at mrnofluff.com on our website. I want to buy any properties you guys have. I want to buy two ways. I like to buy properties at a deep discount. But I know that there's not that many properties out there that we can get at a deep discount, even though the seminars and whatever people say there is, okay? However, there's other ways that I can structure these deals, and if you don't know how to do it, great. Just bring them to me and I'll help you, right? Bring them to me at mrnofluff.com. There's a deal submitter on the homepage. Just submit it. There's my smart card. It says Mr. Investor. Submit on that icon. Submit those deals to us. It doesn't matter. The areas that I'm really primarily looking for is Texas, Colorado, Las Vegas, Florida, and I don't know if I said Colorado, but those are the four areas. If there's other areas, I'm willing to look into it. A primary for sure: Texas, Colorado, Las Vegas, Florida. Okay, those four states, I definitely want properties in there, ladies and gentlemen. So if you have something, if you already know what to do, you have it under contract, bring it to me. If you don't know what to do, bring it to me. Okay, guys, and I'm here to help you out. If you want to learn what to do with these deals, right? You don't want to bring it to me. You want to make all the money yourself. Great. Join me in my mastermind. We meet every Saturday, ladies and gentlemen, for 19 bucks a week. Golly, dude, $19 a week. There's REI clubs you can go to and pay 20 bucks. You drive there in traffic on a Saturday. They bring you one clown, and then that clown tries to sell you on his products, right? I try to help you answer any questions you have one-on-one, dude. It's not a sales pitch. Sometimes you might need some tools that I offer, but it doesn't matter if you buy my tools or someone else's tool. It doesn't matter. But I'll tell you, hey, you may need this tool. If you're going to try to do this kind of digging, you're going to need this, right? But it's not a sales pitch. You ask me questions. I audit your movement. Who does that? For 19 bucks a week, dude, I ask you questions. You met a seller. You went to their appointment. What you do, and I audit it for you. Like a professional athlete that gets professional coaching to monitor their movement so they make sure they're using the right biomechanics for your business for 19 bucks. You got to be kidding yourself. You're not in there right now, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, 19 bucks a week, 76 bucks a month. Doesn't matter what state you're in, what business you're in. I can help you. I never had a job. Now, in 2016, I told you guys I'm not getting into real estate anymore. There's guys on YouTube that if you watch their channel, they're telling you they got it started in the business in 2016, right? And they got a lot more followers, whatever, because they're saying the cool stuff. I'm saying the stuff is not cool, what I'm saying. Like, debt is not cool. And everyone loves debt. It's the new crack, right? So what I say is not that cool, but it works. Other people are just herds. They started their channel in 2016. And the top of the market they started. Now they made some money, but any fool can make money when it's up. Let's see when it goes down, what are they gonna do? Okay? Because that's when the real money's made, ladies and gentlemen. You can all your money on the down market and then set out the remaining, dude. This is not time to buy and fix and flip. Whoever told you that was a fucking moron. This is not a time for that. Because the market is changing. The tide is changed. The days on market has changed. Not everywhere, but watch. Okay. Now I don't have a crystal ball, and I'm not giving you financial advice. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. What I'm doing is I am looking for deals. Bring me your deals at mrnofluff.com. Okay. I'll help you structure it. I'll help you fund it. If it's a deal that I want, I'll definitely make sure you get paid, and I'll do the right thing. So if you bring me a deal, you don't have to worry about someone going to screw you, because I've been there. Someone screwed me when I went to these REI clubs. I brought some guy this much leads, and I said, please teach me how to do a subject to, because this guy's supposed to be a subject to guy. Guess what he did? He did the deeds. He did the deals. I looked at the county clerks. He owned the properties. He told me he didn't know. He didn't work with it. Right now, if you submit me a bad deal, okay, guys, listen, we're not gonna reach out to you if it's a bad deal, because we get so many deals. Like this year, I've already seen 490 deals. Okay, thanks for submitting deals to me, guys. Keep it up. But if you're submitting a deal like this, for example, the house is worth 100, right? The tax roll is 100, and the seller wants 200, and then you want 10,000 on top of it. Dude, I'm not a fool. I'm not looking to pay something over than the actual price. You need to take that to a fool, right? But if the house is worth 100 and you bring it to me for 50, it's a deal. But please don't bring me a house that's worth 100 for 200 or 150, because the seller will. That's not a motivated seller. Then if you're in that situation, I know there's a guy named Jimmy or something, man. He's constantly submitting his deals, and I thank you for submitting his deals, dude. But it's a horrible fucking deals. You're just looking on the MLS, pulling us a deal like, here's a deal. This is not a deal. You got to talk to these people, man. You got to talk to them and see if they're motivated. And if you don't know what to do, get in my mastermind so I can help you, because I see you have ambition and drive. Great, but you got to add some skills to it, right? You got to add some skills to it. So if you don't know what to do, join my mastermind. It's $19 a month, dude. And I'll show you what you need to do. And if you know what to do, bring me the deals, right? Because I know there's so many guys know how to buy a house with 60 cents on a dollar, but you don't know how to structure these deals. Bring me the deals, okay? And I'll definitely give you some money out of it. But it has to be a win for me as well, ladies and gentlemen. Does that make sense? Okay. Again, I'm looking in Fort Worth. Florida, Texas, Colorado, Las Vegas. You got deals in those areas. Submit it at mrnofluff.com. If you want to learn how to get these deals yourself, where you're buying the properties yourself. No, I don't buy notes, guys. I want the actual deal myself. But that's a very good thing. Now, what she was talking about is finding these motivated sellers, creating a note, which is like buying it, getting the deed into your name, and then turning around and selling that note to someone else. No, I'm not looking for that. What I'm looking for is the seller's direct. I'm looking for a motivated seller. I'm not looking for an agent listing. I'm not looking for, the seller's friend. Don't bring me deals like that. Okay. I'm not looking for another wholesaler's deal. I don't want any of that. If you're the guy that has it under contract, you don't know what to do with it, or you don't have the exit strategy, or you don't have the funds to close, bring me that deal. Right. But if you're a bird dog, you don't know what to do with it, and you submit a lot of deals to us, and we don't get back with you because they're shitty, dude. And I've told my team to tell it to you, but they're just holding back. And I want to just tell it to you straight in your face. Anyone that submits deals and we don't get back with you because they're shitty deals, and you're doing something wrong, so you better get in the mastermind, because if they're good deals, I personally look at every deal that submits in 30 seconds or less. You submit a deal, I'm scanning it instantly, right? Instantly. But if we don't get back with you because it's horrible and you don't know what the hell you're doing, and we don't want to tell you so we seem like salespeople, like, hey, you need to come to our mastermind. But let me tell you, if you're bringing us deals, we don't get back with you, please join the mastermind, because you don't know what the hell you're doing. And you're wasting your own time, and you're wasting our team's time, right? That's why we don't get back with you, because time is money, right? But in this case, we want to help you, so you put this time into finding the right deal, okay? Now, it could be a deep discounted deal, or it can be a subject to, it can be a lease option, etc. All right. I think I got some questions. Someone says, Ashley, you're taking notes. Great job. Okay. He says, or she says, where do you join the mastermind? Just go to mrnofluff.com, and right on the homepage, it'll say mastermind. There'll be a link there. Okay. With the mastermind, you also get the mother course, which is the advanced course on how to find subject to deals, what to do, how to negotiate, how to structure, all that stuff. So that stuff is included for you too. Because what I want to do is, you take this learning course, you apply it, you come to the classes with deals, so I can help you structure it, how to talk to them, how to negotiate it, how to fund it, what paperwork to fill, okay? Where instead of you come in and I talk about how great this is and then you just learn, I want you guys to come into the mastermind, download the course, study it, go take action, and then come back, okay? So we got something going on. Let me see what they say. All right, someone's asking about silver and all right, someone's asking about silver and gold, man. I, I've already invested in silver and gold in 2015, guys. 2015, 2016, gold was 11.25. Today, when I looked at it before I did live, it was 13.16, guys. So now people are getting into gold. They're already a little bit late, dude. It's already gone up like $200 an ounce, ladies and gentlemen. So You know, I'm not telling you what to do, but I think that anyone that's getting into there is way late. The time they got in gold was 2015, 2016 when it crashed, right? That was the time. Now, the time for me to get in real estate was not in 2016 because it was the top bubble. Now it's the top. Now, I'm not buying to real estate because I know the properties are going to go up. No, absolutely not. I'm getting in there because I know the properties are going to go up. No, absolutely not. I'm getting in there because the property value is about to come down. Let me say that again. I'm not getting into real estate right now because property values are going to go up. On the contrary, I am getting in the business right now because all the buildings are going to be on fire and people are going to be running out because there's not enough equity, or they can't afford to make the payments no more, or they lost their jobs, or they had too much financial stress and they got into a financial fight with their wives and husbands, they got divorced and that kind of stuff. So I'm getting in there because everyone's about to be running out. I'm not getting in there because everyone's getting in there, right? There's idiots getting in there now. I see idiots trying to buy houses right now and doing fix and flips when the market's right about to tank. That's just my opinion, right? They might be really, really smart, but I would not want to be one of those guys that I went and borrowed hard money. I got some money to rehab it, or it's my own money, and I'm in the middle of it, and the market is changing. Woo-hoo, right? Nor am I one of those guys that's going to go to a bank and they're going to say, hey, the house is worth this much. And they're going to say, okay, you can get into debt that much. And I go sign up for a debt. No way, dude. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? What I'm going to do is I'm going to go find those sellers that believe the banker. They got their house appraised. They got an ultra low interest rate loan. And now almost every seller has ultra low interest rate. Never before, ladies and gentlemen, never before in the history of mankind has interest rates been so low, right? And guess what? That means the monthly payments, right? And guess what? That means the monthly payments, PITI, to the lender after cleaning that is going to leave a big spread called cash flow. I could easily rent it out and get massive cash flow, 2 or 3 times more than I did in the last crash, 2006. Okay, because interest rates are ultra low, and I'm not getting the loan under my name. The seller already has the loan. They just can't afford the payments no more. Maybe they got into a divorce because of financial stress. Maybe their job laid them off. So I'm just taking over their payments. And then I turn around and I rent the property. Guess what? Rent is an all-time high. One bedroom apartment almost everywhere that I've gone to is over $1,000, from Vegas to Colorado to Florida. I mean, I don't even want to talk about California how expensive it is, right? Or New York. So what do you think rent's going to happen? Rent's going to still go up. Why? Because just at the very least, the Federal Reserve, inflation, that's going to go up just by the very minimum. But what's going to happen is money that they lend out on credit cards, buying homes. People can't get homes. They start defaulting. The demand for rental houses is even going to go up, in my opinion. So not only is inflation going up, which is causing the rent prices, but also the demand. Now we have two things working for me in my favor, right? So that's where I am. I got a comment. Okay, Jordan says, for a beginner that hasn't done any kind of deal before, what is the best course? Dude, the best course is just join the mastermind, because I give you my advanced course called my mother course. It's a $1,500, but I include it in there for free. I give you that so you can take home and study it. Plus, when you join the mastermind, you get 4 weeks of meetings for just $76, which is like $19 a meeting. The meetings is where you're able to work with me and my other students and see what they're doing. Plus, you have the course. So it's like the bundleless thing. The course is called the mother course. It's like the bundleless thing. The course is called the mother course. I sell it for 1,500 standalone all day, and I sold many of that. But what I try to do is put them together so I can help you be on my channel, so you get your first check. It doesn't matter if you want to buy a house to rent it for yourself, if you want to buy a house to rent it to be a landlord, if you want to do your own fix and flip, you want to do wholesaling. It doesn't matter what you want to do. The mastermind is where I get to rub elbows with you and talk to you with my other students, so you know. I don't want people to buy stuff. I want people to do deals, do with the least amount of money, spend it. That's why when students come to my class, they're very happy because I don't have them spend a lot of money on advertisement like every other fool tells you to do, like bandit signs or direct mail or Facebook. There's so many free ways to do in America. Okay. And that's what I tap in as a refugee to America. After living out of college with only $100 out of my car, I mastered the power of creativity and imagination. And that's what I'll download to you and tell you exactly what to do. So that's a very good question. I think I got some more questions. Let's see. So that's a very good question. I think I got some more questions. Let's see. Okay, this one says, when you get a home, do you allow the homeowner to stay in the home, or do you make them make payments until you resell? Okay, that's a really good question. Uh, that's a really good question, uh, Ashlyn. Okay, everyone does it differently, but for me, when I buy a house, the seller cannot stay in the home, no matter what they say. Okay, I will not. Again, I will not rent it back to them. I will not do any of this stuff because I'm not an attorney or anything like that. But I don't want to get in the front of the judge and say, look, man, I'm evicting this deadbeat because, he happens to be my banker or and the lender because he's the seller and he also rents for me too. It just doesn't make sense. So when I buy a house and I just take over their payments, the seller got to go. If the seller don't want to go and they want to stay in the home and rent it for me, then I provide a different solution because that solution is a no-no for me. Now I know other investors that do it differently. When I buy a house subject to, they got to go. Anytime I buy a house from the seller, I never rent it back to the seller. I don't care if it's even a cash deal. I just don't do it that way. I want them to leave, right? I want them to psychologically get it. This is over, right? And they can't stay in the house. Good question, though. All right, some good questions, guys. Thanks for watching Hustle and Bustle. Do me a favor, click the like button, subscribe, and share.